My name is Jessica and I have no idea what I'm doing. Today is a makeup of interest video, which if you haven't seen one of these before, first of all, welcome. And what they are is basically me going through some new and upcoming makeup releases that have caught my eye for one reason or another, and then deciding if they are for me and do I need them before I buy them. First up on the list today is Colourpop. Colourpop needs to calm down with everything they're releasing. I feel like every other day it's something, but you know what? Good for them. Except this time they came out with the Lilac You a Lot palette. I love purple, I love lilac. I just feel like this is too similar to the It's My Pleasure palette. I feel like the colors are not that much lighter or that much different. If I didn't already have the It's My Pleasure palette, maybe I would have gotten this one, because I think I like this one a little bit better, and I feel like it's a little more purple in the sense that I like purple, whereas the other one to me had too many reddish tones in it. Here, Lilac at least does tend to lean more pink sometimes, so I understand the pinks that they put in here. So is it for me? Somewhat. Do I need it? No, I really don't. I have the other one. I wish this one had come out first because I would have bought this one and not the other one, but it is what it is. The other thing that Colourpop has released is the Pretty Fresh, I don't know how to say that type of acid, tinted moisturizer. I know, right? Something that is actually not an eyeshadow or an eyeshadow palette. But because I'm someone who doesn't really like foundation, I like using the Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer. However, that is quite expensive, so if I could find something that's less money and does the same thing, I would be happy with that. However, something I really like about that moisturizer is that it has SPF 30 in it, and it does not seem like this tinted moisturizer has any SPF in it at all. So that's a big drawback for me. Also, I've heard of this acid before. I don't really know what it is or what it does. I would be cautious to put something like that on my skin. I'm very sensitive, and like I've mentioned before, certain things that absorb through my skin into my body can irritate my stomach issues. It's also hard to pick a shade online. I mean, unless these came to like Ulta and I started playing around with them on my hand or something. So is it for me? If it had the SPF in it, I would say yes, it could be. Do I need it? I would like to find a cheaper alternative to the Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer I have. But since it's not really for me, I'm gonna say no, I don't need it, but I might still look into it. Next is the Essence Spiritual Gangster Eyeshadow Palette. What a name. This palette obviously caught my eye because of all the colors in it. I like that it has a bunch of different colors. I like that it has a good amount of shimmers in it. Don't care so much for the top half because obviously it's more neutral and more warm toned. I do like the light pink and the pale yellow shimmer, and definitely the purples, blues, silver, and peach in the bottom. But honestly, I just don't need it. I have colors like this already. Is it for me? Possibly. I do like the colors, or most of them anyway. And like I said, it is more evenly matte shimmer, which I enjoy, but I just really don't need it. Next is the IBY Beauty Superbloom palette. I don't know what this palette really looks like. I've seen so many photos of it and I feel like the colors are slightly different each time, but different enough to make a difference in how much I would want it. Sometimes I think I see a blue in there, sometimes I think I see like 3 purples instead. Sometimes things look darker, sometimes things look brighter. The bottom line is that I'm attracted to, for some reason, the yellow. I don't know why, I'm not usually a yellow person. The purples and or blue that is in there, and maybe a couple of the like peachy pinky colors. But I feel like this is a warm neutral, neutral, and a few pops of blue and or purple kind of palette, which is not really for me. We all know that I don't care for neutrals, especially warm neutrals. And I do have colors like this already, so I don't need it. Next is the Kiko Cosmetics Pop Revolution collection. I always think it's cute when they do like little collections like this. I love the theme, I like the 60s. I like how few of the products have like a record shape. I think that's cute. And I do think that some of the products fit the style of the era. However, I don't really see anything that's for me in here. Everything is too neutral. I thought there would be more like pops of color. There were definitely a lot of colors going on in the 60s, maybe not so much in makeup, but definitely in the outfits and decor. So I felt like they could have incorporated that maybe a little better. I think the eyeliner and kajal duos are kind of interesting. Of course, I like the blue and purple one, so maybe that would be something I would look into. I like how you can have a liquid liner on one side and a pencil on the other, because that's usually what I do the few times that I actually use eyeliner. I usually do the waterline with the pencil and then liquid liner on top. I like one of the nail polishes, of course the dark indigo color, but that's about it for me here. Not for me. Don't need it. Although I also think the Pop Revolution highlighter to go is kind of interesting. I don't know how well that would blend out, but I have a feeling that would be for someone maybe more into cream highlighters where they are used to blending things out more. It's interesting. Not really for me and not something I need, but definitely interesting. Alright, so I'm back. I went out for a little while and now I'm going to continue filming. Next is the Morphe 3503 Fierce by Nature Artistry palette. No, this palette is not for me. I do not need it. Literally what caught my eye were the two lime green eyeshadows, and that was about it. I went and looked at the other 35O palettes just because people were like complaining about this palette. Yeah, I can see where each one is like slightly different, but they're definitely all very, very similar. I would say out of all of them, I like this one best simply because it has the lime green, two lime greens in it, and like, I don't know, maybe one mulberry. But no, this is definitely not for me and I do not need it. Next on my list are the Pat McGrath Blitz Astral Quad eyeshadow palettes. First one is in Iconic Illumination, and the second one is in Nocturnal Nirvana. So the first one's just here because I got attracted by the second one, and I figured I'd let you guys know that this one is available too. The second one, obviously I love the blue and the indigo blue color as well. I really don't know what that bottom left color is because every time I see a picture it looks different. In some it looks more neutral, in some it looks like a green, in some it looks like a duochrome. I really don't know what it is, so I would have to see it in the store, but it's not really for me. Or, well, I guess it would have to depend on what that third color looks like. But anyway, I don't need it. I have colors like this, and this is just way, way, way too expensive. I'm not paying $65 for an eyeshadow quad. Next are the Balm Petal to the Metal cream eyeshadow palettes. I think these are cute. It's something different, something new. My concern is that would they crease? I mean, they say creaseless, but you know, that doesn't really mean anything, especially me with my hooded eyes. There's two of them. Shift into Neutral and Shift into Overdrive. The Shift into Neutral one is more neutral, but they threw a purple in there and it looks like a peachy color. I definitely like those two colors for sure. I mean, the rest of them are nice, but we all know I like colors. The other one I would say I probably like more. The blue, the green, the purple, another peach. I don't think you could get a full look out of each of these. I mean, you could. Me, I don't have luck doing a full look out of cream eyeshadows. So I would probably use these more as like statement lids. So if that's what I was going to do, the Shift into Overdrive one is probably better for me, but they're not really for me. I don't really need them. And it's not like I can go to the Balm and test these out in store. And like I said, I would be concerned about whether they actually crease or not on my hooded eyes. So at least for now, they're a pass. Next up are the Too Faced x Madonna sets. One is called Ivory, and the other one is called Medellin. You're probably wondering why these are here when they are so neutral. It just because they're Too Faced, and Too Faced is my favorite, so anything they do I at least look at and check out. But yeah, neither of these are for me. They are too neutral, like I just said. I wouldn't even be able to use the lip products. The mascaras would be okay. I don't really use brow products. I guess I would try it. The eyeliner I would try. But yeah, not for me, and don't need them. I definitely have colors like this. Next, I'm going to talk about Victoria Beckham Beauty. There's a few items coming out from this new brand that caught my eye. The Smoky Eye Brick and the Lid Luster eyeshadow. So as for the eye bricks, I mean, obviously that blue one caught my eye. I think it looks great, but I am definitely not paying that kind of money for that. Also, I don't know who Victoria Beckham is. I'm assuming she's a celebrity, and maybe that's why it's so high price. But honestly, I don't even need this. I have colors like that, and like I said, just way too expensive. And for the lid lusters, again, it's just too expensive. If the price were lower, I would consider getting one, maybe the blue one or the pearly one, just because, you know, I love glitter and shine. But I don't really need them, and the price is just too high. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today is the Viseart Grande Pro 3 eyeshadow palette. Obviously, this caught my eye because of all the colors. It's basically a giant, expensive rainbow palette. I think the selection of blues is pretty good. The greens is definitely good. You know me, we could take some of those like reds and oranges and yellows out, but I think it's nice. However, it is all matte, and we know that I don't like all matte usually. I like to see a bunch of shimmers in there. I mean, I guess if you had a bunch of colorful shimmers like I do, and then you wanted to get some colorful mattes to back it up, but honestly, about half of this I wouldn't even use, and it is just way, way, way too expensive. It's not for me, and I don't need it. I have colors like this already. Alright, what do you guys think? What's on your makeup of interest list? Alright, that's it for today. I hope you have a good day no matter what it is you're doing. Bye. See you next time.